Have you ever met someone who is successful? They have a good job. They have succeeded in their career. They have some good salary. Their life is kind of settled. If they're in business, they own a fleet of businesses and they have somehow scaled. They have some enterprises here and there. They have a homestead. They own a car. They have a car. Their life is settled. If they have a family, you're taking them to some good school around there. They have them kid there in a kindergarten somewhere. But you ask them and they tell you honestly that they feel empty inside, that they feel they're not happy with exactly what they are doing, that they're not happy with what they have built to that level. Now, maybe it's not about failure. Maybe it's more of being successful in the wrong thing. Welcome to the Real Talk. Now, today we want to discuss the difference between a right life and a good life. There is a difference. Let me go back to the contemporary system that we've been told, we're supposed to follow. The system of, go to school, get a good job, get some good grades that will lead you to get a good job. With a good job, get some good salary. And if you're lucky, get a good lady, marry, or if you're a lady, get a good man out there, you marry, raise up some kids, pay some few bills here and there. Then at the end of the day, retire and definitely die if Christ doesn't come before you die. This system, I'm not saying it's bad, but what I'm saying is, have you ever sat down and paused and asked yourself, is this the right is this the right system for me? It is the right way for me, because we cannot really assume that this fits everybody. As much as it might be the right thing for everyone, it might not be the right thing for me. It might not necessarily mean it's the right thing for you who is out there. It can be right for someone else, can be right for me, but not for you. Because what we are supposed to appreciate as human beings is that human beings are diverse, human beings are different. Human beings, they are meant to complement each other and not necessarily to copy each other. And that's why I normally talk so much against comparison, because we are wired differently, we have been designed differently. And mostly I talk of design, the way somebody or something is being designed. It's normally based on what it's supposed to offer. So the way I am designed, the way I am wired, might be different from the way you are wired. So if you come and compare my form of success to be the exact same form of success that you want to get, then you'll find at some point, we won't match, right? Let me give you an example. An eagle and fish, they're all of them are vertebrates, but they operate from different ecosystems. You cannot use one standard to rate their potential. If you take the fish out of the water to go and fly, definitely gonna die. Take an eagle and put it in water and you want it to compete with the fish, definitely the fish gonna win. Why? Not because the eagle is lesser, not because the fish is weaker, out of water, but they have been designed differently. The fish has filament, and it allows the fish to be able to breathe in water. But the bird, it can't breathe in water because it wasn't designed to breathe in the water. So we are all different, and we have different things, and we're supposed to appreciate that from the time go. That as much as we look similar somehow outwards, but inwards we are different. And one thing we're supposed to be intentional about is pursuit of purpose, because purpose, it's more of understanding who you are first before you are able to understand how you're supposed to relate with the external normal system that are there. Because if before you are exposed to the system that we have, education system, the work system, you're supposed to first understand your potential, you're supposed to understand where you have intense emotions, where your burden is, for you to understand how you're supposed to relate with these things. Let me give you an example of an athlete. Kenya, we are well known of athletics. We have one of the best athletes that have ever been, mostly long distance runners talk of, Eliud Kipchoge, Faith Kipyegon, and many others that are coming up. For an athlete, let's say, let's give an example like for Eliud Kipchoge, when he was still in his running, phase, because we understand that athletics normally goes with a phase. There's some age beyond which you cannot function optimally. For an athlete, it may deem good for them to go to school, collect certificates here and there. But if they're doing this as their primary thing, if they are after going to school to get that, going to study something in sports science, they want to go and do a diploma in what, diploma in something, that may be good for them. But what is the right thing for them to do most primarily? Primarily, we expect them to spend more time in practice, more time on the track, more time, monitoring their heartbeats, monitoring, the exercises, monitoring their diet for them to function optimally. So if you find an athlete spending most of their time in, they are spending most of the time in class, they are studying, they are joining a course, you want them to do that as a side, something on the side. But if they're doing this as the primary thing, it can be good for them. But at that particular time, it won't be the right thing for them. Because for them to function optimally, for them to improve their skills in their athletics, in their activities when they are running, they are supposed to practice. So before you understand the right thing for you, before you understand what is good for you, before you're able to have that priority list, you're supposed to sit down and at least understand that this is my potential. This is what I want to achieve. This is what I resonate with more. This is what I'm supposed to do. Then with that, you were able to know how you're supposed to structure your life. What are your priorities? What are your good things? What are your right things? I'll give you another example. Something like we have, I had a blade here. I don't know where it is gone, but either way, there is a blade that's specifically meant for surgery. It's called a surgical blade. And this blade, the person who designed this blade designed it specifically to be used in incisions, surgical incisions, either minor or major, to make cuts surgically. So if I pick that blade, and it's like any other, it's like a blade. It can cut. It's like it's a normal blade. I'll get it and then I'll upload it on one of these videos. I'll put a picture of it. So if this blade, I take it and I use it to trim my nails, it can trim the nails, right? But this is not the right thing for this blade to do. These are not the primary reasons why this blade was designed. So as much as I can use it to cut my nails, then that can be a good thing, another use for it. But the primary use of this blade is to perform surgery. So human beings are not different. As much as, the spirit that is in us, the same spirit that was in our creator. And we are supposed to appreciate that the same way human beings design things for specific things, that the same way your creator designed you for a specific job. So it's not a matter of comparison, because as much as comparison may be good for a matter of accountability, maybe with your friends here and there, but we are supposed to realize that we are all different, and for us to live optimally, we are supposed to get that place where we redefine success. We redefine what really matters to us, because that's the way you can be able to explore things in regards to purpose and fulfillment and legacy. And one thing we also need to agree that every single human being wants to feel special, wants to have that feeling of self-worth. And that's why you can even pick this easily with kids. If you have ever had a kid around you, they are more concerned with validation. They will be like, have I done this right? They want you to appreciate them and tell them you have done a good job, or you have to appreciate them. Then they feel so nice, because every human being wants to be appreciated. We are seeking that self-worth. And this self-worth, it's based on a certain metric that is in us. Your self-worth, your feeling of self-worth may be different from my feeling of self-worth. And this feeling of self-worth is based on the amount of potential that is in you. Let me give you an example. Let's say, like for my case, I believe that human beings have a unique value in them. They have a unique reason of living that they are supposed to, achieve. I believe that every human being has some superpower in them. And this belief that has made me, the one that has made me, sorry, to come up and make these videos, because I believe that you who is watching this, there is something that is in you. And as much as you may have gotten maybe to the level that you are and you haven't realized it, but that thing has not left you. And if we speak honestly, maybe you are in a business that wasn't part of who you are supposed to be. You can easily tell because your spirit can't lie to you. You can easily tell that you are deviating from this. So that is my metric. When I see people drift into their path, when I see people enjoying the journey, vis-a-vis, complaining and waiting for the best times to come, my joy comes when I'm able to know that there is someone who is living a life that they were meant to live, and they are having fulfillment each and every day that they wake up. And for my case, my fulfillment is if I'm able to spark up, some thoughts in you. If I'm able to spark the way you think, and you're able to pause for a moment and ask the right question, that gives me fulfillment. This is very different for everyone else, and and I believe that when you can be able to leverage on these superpowers, or rather what I call the best gift that we have in us, I believe that we can do tremendous and tremendous things. One of the things that really breaks my heart is seeing people settling for less, seeing people merely choosing survival instead of living. Sure, I can't really refuse. There is a place of survival. There's a time when you just need to barely get alive, when you need to pay that rent, to get that food, just to be able to get your head above the water. But once you're able to get your head above the water, you don't need to necessarily stay there and pick there your tent to be your destination. You're supposed to move to the next level, now beyond survival into real living, where you're supposed to enjoy the journey. And also, there is, as the good Bible says, that there is a reason before you were born. There was a reason as to why you were born. In the book of Jeremiah, that before I formed you, I first knew you, and I predestined you for a specific cause. So I believe, you don't just make up purpose. Purpose is meant to be discovered. Purpose is meant to be pursued. Purpose is meant for you to be intentional about trying to understand why you were born. And on Real Talk, we ask better questions. We don't have all the answers on the Real Talk. Real Talk is about asking better questions, asking the right questions. And we believe the right questions lead to the right answers. And through this, you are able to reinvent your life, reinvent your success, and exactly know who you want to become. So if this conversation really resonates with you, please subscribe, comment, and join us as we continue this journey to pursue purpose, fulfillment, and legacy.